Hello friends and welcome back. So in this session we are going to cover the messaging bridge. Okay, and messaging bridge is same like the foreign server what we have learned in the previous sessions, right? When your source need to send the message to the target, and this target is the remote server or remote messaging server, right? For example, in the source you may have the WebLogic, and the target you may have some other WebLogic domain, and it can be your like IBM MQ, it could be your JBoss, it could be your active MQ or any other messaging system, right? So that means your source is sending the message to the target remote messaging system, okay? That it is sending some messages, right? So for that we use the foreign server, and along with that we can use the messaging bridge. Now, what is the difference between both? So in foreign server, we have learned the messages from source to target goes directly. There is no mediator in between, right? And for that, we need a highly available target so that your messages can reach immediately as soon as the message is invoked from the source. Otherwise, what will happen if your target is not responding? Your source will keep trying the messages, okay? And in case of no response, you will see the stuck thread or hogging thread in your source application, right? So this is the foreign server, but when we talk about the messaging bridge, so in messaging bridge there we have a mediator in between. Okay, in this case we do not send a message directly from source to target, we have a mediator in between. Okay, that means we place the messages somewhere in between, okay, and then message delivered to a target. So what is the benefit of that? The benefit is that if your target is not available, okay, your source will send the message to the local queue, okay, and it will be stored here, and once your target is up, then the message will get processed. So in this situation, if your target is not available, there wouldn't be any impact on the source because the messages will be delivered and stored in the mediator queue, or maybe it a mediator topic. Okay, so your source will not get impacted in this case, right? So the use case would be, you know that your target is not so highly available, you may have some kind of issues in the target, or it is not very fast, maybe bit slow, or sometime you frequently get some of the issues with the target, okay? So you want a mediator in between so that your source should not be impacted. Okay, so in this case, we use a bridge messaging bridge, right? So now hope it is clear to you what is the difference between foreign server and messaging bridge. So the concept is same as I said. Messaging bridge also we use to send the messages but from source to target or to a remote server, and remote server could be anything, but I have explained here, right? So now when we do the configuration of messaging bridge, what are the important steps that we have to follow? So for that we need the source and target information when we are going for the integration. Okay, so as I said, target could be your WebLogic. Now suppose that source is WebLogic and target is your MQ. Okay, so you need to arrange some details from the MQT that you need to configure in your WebLogic when you are configuring the message bridge, and some details you need in the WebLogic. But one extra steps here, we have the mediator in between which is going to store the messages, right? So that means you need to configure this mediator as well. For this mediator, you need to configure a queue in the WebLogic in your source, okay, which will store the messages, correct? So to configure the queue, again we need to go in same way. We need a JMS server, we need the corresponding persistent store, then configure JMS module, then you configure the sub deployment, and then you configure the corresponding connection factory and the corresponding queue, right? This is the same thing that we have followed in the JMS sessions earlier. So this is the step that you have to follow to configure this particular queue which is going to hold the messages in between. Okay, so once this is done, the second step, you need to configure the JMS bridge destinations. And in JMS bridge destinations, we have to configure two, one and two. The first JMS bridge destination for the source, and second is for the target, right? So now in this case, when the source need to send message to target, and as I said, we have a mediator in between. So this source will store the message in the mediator target before sending it to target, like here. Okay, and from this mediator, the message will be delivered to your target, right? So second step is to configure bridge destinations, and you need to configure two bridge destinations, one for source, one for target. And once these source and target bridge destinations are configured, you need to configure a bridge. And in this bridge, you have to provide, or you have to create the connection between these two, source and target. So that means you just need to select the source and just you need to select the target, and your bridge will be created. Okay. So by this way, these are the three important steps that we follow for the configurations of the messaging bridge. And this communication between source to target in the messaging bridge is happen with the help of adapter. Okay, so these adapters are your inbuilt. Okay, it's already inbuilt in your WebLogic. You don't need to do anything for that one. It is automatically by default installed. So now let me show you how to configure it. Okay, so very first thing, as I said, we need a queue, or it can be a distributed queue for the high availability. Okay, to store the messages local, right? So for that, first we are configuring the same JMS server and then persistent store and the corresponding JMS deployment, connection factory, and the corresponding queue. Okay, that is you can consider as a part A. So I will quickly configure that. Go to your environments and then go to your services. Inside services, you have to go to your first your persistent stores. So I'm going to create the file store base. So create one file store base persistent stores. So I'm going to create only for manage server one. So I will create a queue. If you are going to create a distributed topic, you can have a create a distributed topic as well for the high availability. Okay. So let me create file store for manage server one. Then let me create. So I'm going with the default directory. So I'm not going to specify any custom directory. So target I'm going to specify for manage server one and click on save. Right. So file store has been created. Now I will quickly create the corresponding JMS server. So go to JMS servers, click on new and specify the name. Let me give JMS server one. Then click on create. So here specify the persistent store that we have created corresponding. Now save this configuration. Okay, and go to target and specify that manage server one and again save. Okay, so we have configured the corresponding file store and the corresponding JMS server. So now we will configure a JMS module. So let me specify create it JMS module 1. Click on create. Okay, so once it is created, just toggle between different tabs and then go back and then go back to your JMS module that you have created and expand it. And then first, either you want to go for custom connection factory, you can create it. If you want to use the default connection factory, you can use that as well. Okay, I'm just quickly creating a custom connection factory. Okay, so JNDI for my connection factory. Okay, I'm just giving a random name. Click on save. Okay, so the connection factory has been created. So now I'm going to create the corresponding queue. And before that, what I will do, I will create a sub deployment. So I want this to be part of my sub deployment. Okay, so I will quickly create a sub deployment and I'm going to assign it to my server only. So if you are creating a distributed queue, okay, then make sure to specify the target as a cluster. Okay, and then click on. Okay, so let me deselect it because I am going to assign this for my queue. So I need to select here the JMS server. Okay, and if you are creating the distributed queue, then make sure to select here all of your JMS servers here if you have multiple JMS servers, right? Click on save. So my sub deployment had been created. So what I will do, I will assign this sub deployment to my connection factory as well, which I have created. Okay, I will assign to my sub deployment SD. Click on save. Now I will create the queue. Let me give the name Q1. Okay, and here I have to specify a GNDA name. Let me specify some random name. Okay, you have to make sure that this GNDI name is same as defined in the code, right? Because your code will reach to this particular queue with the help of this GNDI. And here I need to specify the sub deployment. So I will give the name of my sub deployment SD. Okay, and then click on save. Okay, so now my part A is ready. And what we have done in part A, we need a queue to store the message in the messaging bridge, right? So for that, we need to create a queue, and this queue will belong to a JMS server. So we have created first the JMS servers and the corresponding persistent store, which is a file-based persistent store that we have created, right? And then we have created the JMS module, corresponding sub deployment, and then one custom connection factory, and then queue in that. Okay, so part A is completed where we have a queue that we will utilize for sending the messages in the JML bridge first from the source. Okay, now let us come to second part. In second part, let me first close this all these sub options. Okay, now, so second part, what I said, we need to create the JMS bridge destination. So we need to configure two bridge destinations, right? As I explained. So let me go back and show you. So here you can see I said two JMS bridge destinations, first for source, second for target. Okay, and we need the source and target details here when we are going for the configuration. And what are the details that you required here? So let me tell you. So go to JMS bridge destinations, click on first. So here you can specify source bridge destination. Click on create. Okay, so now my source is WebLogic. So you can see here this is the adapter JNDI. So as I said, your messaging bridge use the adapter for the communication. So do not change this. Go with the default one, whatever we have it there, the adapter JNDI name. Okay. Second thing is the connection URL. So here you need to specify the connection URL for your source. Okay. For source, it is a WebLogic server which is running on my local host. So I can specify local host, and then I can give the port of my manage server 1, right? Because I have created the queue which I have targeted to my manage server 1 and JMS server 1. So I have specified the connection URL for my manage server where my queue is targeted. Then initial context factory. So we are going to use the WebLogic only. So the whatever the initial context factory is there, this is for the WebLogic. So do not change it. Okay, let it be default. Then connection factory GNDI name. Okay, so here we need to specify the connection factory GNDI name. So what is the connection factory GNDI name that we have created? Let me go back and see in my JMS module. So here you can see the connection factory name we have specified CF. Okay, so you can specify CF here, and then destination GNDI name. And what is the name of your destination GNDI? Okay, so destination GNDI name is Q1, right? So this is your QGNDI. So let me specify Q1. Sorry, I need to specify the GNDI of my queue here. Okay, so let me see what is the GNDI that I have given for my queue. Okay, it was GNDI slash Q1. This was the JNDI destination queue, JNDI name, right? So let me specify this one. Go back to your, sorry, go back to your JMS destinations. Let me close this one. JMS bridge destination. This I was creating. So here I need to specify the JND destination JNDI name. Okay, and type is queue. So we are configuring. We have configured the queue here, right? So I have specified the queue. And if you have created a username and password for protection, you can specify the username and password as well. Okay, so we are not using any username and password, so I am making it blank. So let me quickly explain you what we have done here. What are the configurations we have done for the source JMS bridge destination? The name, then adapter JNDI, do not change it. Connection URL, where you have targeted your particular queue where the message is going to be stored. So as of now, we have created the queue and JMS server for manage server 1. So I have specified only for the manage server 1. Okay, and if you have if you are using queue, distributed queue, where you have the multiple servers in the target, you can specify the other multiple target details here as specifying comma. Okay, for each and every manage server. And source is the WebLogic. So do not change this initial context factory here. Let it be same. Here you can specify the connection factory GNDI name. So whatever the connection factory you have specified, specify the connection factory GNDI. Okay, and let me go back and see the G. Okay, this was my GNDI name. So this I need to specify in the my destination. Okay, so let me change it. I have given the connection factory name. I need to specify the corresponding GNDI here. Save. So this is the connection factory GNDI name I have specified. This is the destination GNDI name. So destination, we have created a queue. This is the queue that we have created, right? And this is the GNDI of my queue, right? So this we have specified here. Let me go back here. This is here, right? So with the help of this connection factory JNDI and the corresponding queue JNDI, the application will reach to this particular queue and store the messages in the Q1. So now this is the source JMS bridge destination that has been completed. Now we need to configure a target bridge destination. So click on new, specify a name. Let me specify it, target bridge destination. Click on create. So again, adapter name should be same. Okay, whatever we have here in the adapter GNDI name, because the communication is going to be with the help of adapter only. So do not change it. After that, you need to specify the connection URL. So connection URL now might suppose my target is the MQ server. Okay, an MQ server running on some IP address like 192.9.8.0. Okay, and the port of my MQ server is 6501. Right. So this is, you can specify here in the connection URL, because your source is going to connect to the target, and target is my MQ server, which is running on this particular IP and the port. Okay. Now initial context factory. So this initial context factory, this is the for WebLogic, right? So there would be a corresponding initial context factory for your IBM MQ server as well, and you need to arrange this from the MQ stream.